In this episode, you'll discover why obsessing over shallow markers of success, money and cars, prevents true spiritual commitment and connection. Welcome to Energy Alignment for Entrepreneurs, the podcast helping entrepreneurs be free from anxiety, stress, and tension through balancing emotions and consciousness expansion. 3 things that you will learn today. Number 1, why measurement will be the end of you if you measure your spirit. Number 2, the danger of confusing your purpose with your profession. Number 3, how to achieve a harmonious life without abandoning material desires. Yeah, number 3 I love. And honestly, I think we're going to start with that. So I'm starting with that because the topic is obsessing over shallow markers of success. And when you look at number 3, how to achieve a harmonious life without abandoning material desires, the big thing that I need to communicate to you here is that material desires are not good nor bad. It is kind of the nature in which you have obtained the things which you have. Give you a primal example. If I made a couple $1 billion selling heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine, literally killing people, taking advantage of other people's pain, being manipulative, that money is going to reap me turmoil, a tough karma, because it's inputs and outputs. You throw the rock into the pond and you create ripples. And if I am feeding that if I'm working from that essence, manipulation, greed, taking advantage of other people, that's going to stink. It's going to be rough because the energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just changes. And if you're going to change, if you're going to kind of add that flavor to the cake, ooh, you're going to have to eat that. You're going to have to eat the seeds that you sow, you harvest. So when you are kind of looking to achieve a harmonious life in alignment, but still have material wealth, you have to make sure the way that you get the wealth is actually of a beautiful vibration. You're doing good works. What are good works? First of all, you can tell in your heart if you really sit with yourself and ask. For example, you could be someone like a receptionist at a pharmaceutical company. And depending on your spiritual vibration, it matters how deep you see. Now, pharmaceuticals, I am not a huge proponent of them. Do they have their place? Every once in a while, they do. The healthcare system, pharmaceuticals, they've saved many people, but at the same time, they've also destroyed many lives. And let's say you're a receptionist working for one of those big companies. For a while, that may be okay, but you may come to a point where you realize, man, this isn't as aligned as I could be. So if you ever feel any guilt, shame, or victimhood while listening to me speak, remember that it is not me creating that in you. It is your spirit reflecting the truth of these words. Now, you have to swallow that. You have to sit with it. You have to feel. If I'm speaking to you and that example wasn't specifically your career, but you're feeling in your heart that there's a career change or there is something more, something different you could be doing, go write about that. Understand what you're trying to hear. Because it's not a coincidence. When you feel anxiety, when you feel regret, it's a sign. For example, if you've done something you regret and your consciousness is bringing guilt and shame, then it's showing you that you need to not do that thing. And you're going to have to do it until that regret boils up to a point where it's like, I just can't anymore. And you also have to surrender and pray and devote yourself because sometimes that is the nature of the cycle. It's going to beat you down and beat you down, and that's also part of the spirit expanding. So if you need to achieve a harmonious life without abandoning material desires, you have to pay attention to the root essence of why you do what you do. And for a point in your life, you're going to have to be doing survival. And when you're surviving, whether it be psychologically or physically, or hey, that's all right. But there comes a point where you're no longer surviving. Your goal isn't survival, but it is flourishing, it is thriving. And you can start to feel when it's time to thrive, when it's time to change. So, those are kind of the cornerstones to creating a harmonious life without abandoning material desires. You got to make sure the way that you get the desires is a win 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 situation, not only for you, your heart, but others as well. And when you work in that manner, right, then you may find yourself having the resources that you need to do more good works. But resources without good works, it's nonsense, absolute nonsense. Um, if you are greedy, here's an example, maybe not the best example, but you see people who have so much attention, they just do foolish things for more attention. That's like how some of the most viral content comes to being. Why? Because we still have a lot of humans who are completely blind and lost, and they don't realize that watching that form of entertainment is a draining of their vitality. Now, all simultaneously, hey, if you want to watch a UFC fight, watch a football game, watch a certain funny video on YouTube, you do you. You don't need to go too deep into analyzing. What you need to do is to feel in the moment as you're doing the thing. That's the feedback. I'm not here to tell you you can or can't do anything. It's not my place. That's not my responsibility. Your heart, I'm just telling you how to listen to your heart. Now, number two, the danger of confusing your purpose with your profession. What happens here is that you get so deep into the identity that you get easily offendable, you get fragile, you get attached to um, everything you're building. And this is hard, right? Because if you put meaning and care, time, energy, commitment, years and years and years into building something that may be your career, your profession, your business, whatever field you're in, but you start to lose the things which keep you young. When you're obsessed with your knowledge and experience, you're living in the domain of limitation, which is the ego and thought. And if you're a doctor, a lawyer, a professional NASCAR driver, a big ticket 200,000 pound excavator operator, a pilot for the Air Force or for any country, if the list goes on and on, right? You could be an oil rig person, you could be someone at Walmart. It doesn't matter what your profession is. I'm not only listing like the best of the best. Point is that when you are so deep into what you do, you forget how to enjoy what you do. So you could go to your profession every day, but still be loose. For example, there's some viral videos of a principal, and this principal, you can see that he still has his inner child, his spark. He's awake because the energy that you see him share with the students in the recordings or the film of the classrooms, the lunchroom, wherever, it's like anywhere and everywhere, this guy is having beautiful, fun, just precious interactions with the children of the school which he principals at. And that is a amazing representation of leading by example. He is still childish. He does funny things with the kids. It's like he's their best friend. And that's the nature and essence of having a profession that you're not confusing your purpose with. You've integrated. You are yourself while you do the work. And see, a lot they find themselves in a place of false authority where they are the manager and they don't have real power. So they like to live in their little power, their power illusion, which is being the manager and being able to give people orders. And then you can feel it in their tone of voice, in the words they use, in their body language, everything, that they just think they're better than you because they have that position or status. Those situations are dangerous because then you start creating an energy which is going to come back to you. And you don't want that energy to come back to you. If you really put yourself in other people's shoes and you're giving orders like a rude, arrogant, entitled individual, put yourself in the person's shoes who you're giving those orders to, right? And then you'll realize, man, I actually don't want this energy. So treat thy neighbor as thyself. If you are not putting yourself in other people's shoes, you're weak, you're insecure, you're running from something. If you are attached to the status, the ability to give orders, to be better than others, whether it be in a sport, in profession, in career, you are weak and you are insecure. Now, I say that with the essence of look at yourself. Hey, you don't need to stay weak. You don't need to stay insecure. But I will drop the bomb and be honest that any form of being an authority over other people is weakness. And that is why I constantly in these videos say that I cannot give you your path. I can tell you how to listen to your heart. Cannot tell you what your heart is communicating to you because you know your heart. You need to connect to your spirit and your truth. Although the spirit of all which is alive, everything on this planet is one essence, the way that truth communicates is going to be different because I am also in a vessel. I cannot act as if I do not have my own memory, knowledge, and experience. So therefore, I'm being extremely honest with you, and sometimes it may come off as a little bit rough, but that is only if you feel offended by what I've said. That is a direct sign to look at your relationship to having the status or position or authority that you may be attached to. I only say it, I only drop the bomb, because it's so important to realize that you need to be a leader by example, an embodiment of putting yourself in other people's shoes, especially if you have power. Now, number one, why measurement will be the end of you if you measure your spirit. You see, this is where it almost comes full circle. Status is a kind of proponent of measurement. You would not be obsessed with any position, authority, or status, or success, money, or cars if you're not measuring. Now, me, I love sport cars. I love the standard transmission. I love when my wheels get when I lose traction. So that's not like I don't just have a cool looking car because I want people to look at my car. Now, if it snaps necks, it snaps necks. If people like it, people like it. But I like it. That's why I enjoy my car. It's because I like it. I don't have it just to be cool. I have it because I like the car. So that's a lot different from saying, oh, well, once I get that car, then I'll have a more expensive car than Joe. And then I'll be able to say, hey, Joe, you know how much I bought this car for? That's measurement. That's pettiness. That's nonsense. I could say, yo, Joe, that car, that thing is sick. Maybe one day I'll have one. But man, I love that color. Look at the body lines. You know, how much horsepower? What's going on? What did you do to it? Et cetera, et cetera. That's a form of curiosity and joy and connection and conversation where we can have fun about the same connection. That's so much different than measurement. And the reason why measurement is the end of your spirit is because it puts you back into this small identity of comparison, me versus you, zero-sum games. Once I get this, then I'll have this, and then I am better than this. No, that's nonsense. That's bullshit. It's disgusting. It's literally disgusting to operate from that mentality, that state of being. So when you are kind of done measuring things and you're ready to appreciate, to be grateful, to work in alignment, to build through meaning, to care, to have compassion, to put yourself in other people's shoes, to treat thy neighbor as thyself. When you're ready to do all that, hey, then you're kind of through measurement. You'll still have moments. You definitely still have moments. The vessel and the ego, like, hey, you gotta have it, else you wouldn't be able to have fun or dance or move throughout this world. You just poof away. So all of us, we have a little bit of that ego, that sense of self, that identity, that illusion. But I'm doing my very best to distill the learnings. Remember, I am not your authority and I never will be. I will always be someone walking my path, sharing the truth that I see. And just because I say it's the truth does not mean it is exactly the same for you. You need to walk, you need to question, you need to be curious, open, and be willing to be proven wrong, not by other humans, but by your own heart. Let your heart show you what's right. Let your consciousness teach you, and always be someone who is coachable. Coachable from your own consciousness. You are your own authority. Recap number one: why measurement will be the end of you. If you measure your spirit, wait, shallow measurement will be the end of you if you are constantly measuring your spirit. Shallow markers of success like views or money can easily become ego decorations if you are overly planned and not speaking genuinely. Number two, the danger of confusing your purpose with your profession. When you pour your heart and energy into something for 40 hours a week, you must ask if it charges you or drains you. If your work drains you, it is vital to discern and move toward endeavors that align with your spirit and that charge you. Number three, how to achieve a harmonious life without abandoning material desires. You can still love money, cars, and relationships, but you must ensure you're not losing yourself in the pursuit of external validation. The goal is to live a harmonious life that is balanced between the spiritual and the physical. Big picture summary: you must choose alignment over external attainment. Strive to stack win wins that are aligned with your spirit, ensuring that your motivation comes from an invigorated heart rather than simple, greedy gain. New episodes are out Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much. Share this with a friend, a family member, a coworker, a random person at the gym, whoever, as long as you have a sense or a feeling that they would resonate, just share it. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, I'm writing a book, so keep up to date on that one. I'm excited to get this book in your hands. Have a great day.